blanked again. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Got to start the video by saying glory, glory, Man United. Just knocked out Arsenal in the cup. Cheers, everyone. But we've got to talk about out of my comfort zone. I think this is match 6, and we blanked again. Oh, we blanked again. Again, I was a bit like, do I even post it? Do I even show it? Because I don't want you all just seeing me catching nothing all the time. But I thought, need to. We're doing a journey, aren't we? We're on the journey. And when we do finally win one, because I'm sure we will eventually, but when we finally win one, it's going to feel so much sweeter in it because it's going to have been through the highs and lows. Now, this match was, at the start we just had a real cold spell, haven't we? We've had like minus temperatures, everywhere's been frozen. And this was just a few days before that, and the lake of Boddington had been fishing terrible. But I hadn't been since before Christmas. When I did alright before Christmas on my last match, caught 3 carp, did okay. But then I was on peg 73 that day, and 75 won the section. And there'll be more about that as the video goes on, because for whatever reason that peg 75 just seems to perform. Don't get me wrong, the anglers who've been on it have fished really well, but for some reason that peg 75 seems really consistent. But anyway, this week drew peg 80, which for anyone who knows Boddington is on the straight, but it's right in this little awkward little cutback. And I just, as soon as I saw it, I feared the worst. Now, I could mates with Steve Ringer, and he'd been on 77 the week before. I spoke to him in the car park, and he was on 77 again. Now, he'd blanked the week before, and he was like, this is, that little area is as bad as it gets in that cutback. I'm like, peg 80, very coloured, very cold. I've got a healthy breakfast, look. New year, new me. And I've got 2 of my heroes either side, look. Got Steve Ringer one side, Stu Pulse the other. So we've got our work out to do any good today. But we'll try. Gonna be a hard day today. 2 to 3 fish is the prediction. For the win, that is, not what I'm gonna catch. A couple of rods out, look, 3 rods, different distances. Yeah, Stu one side, Ringer the other. How's that for a Boddington welcome back? I'm really optimistic at all times. I'm like the most positive guy ever when I'm on the bank. I always believe that it's going to happen. And even I was like skipping along to my peg thinking, it doesn't matter, we'll catch some. But I had, like I said, Steve Ringer on my left, who is arguably the best angler to ever grace Boddington. And then I had Stu Polster to my right, who's arguably the person on in the most form on the venue. So I talk about a baptism of fire. I mean, Jesus. But both of them were like, this is crap. This is not where you want it to be. Basically, as I mentioned before, the matches on Tuesday are broken into 3 zones. So you've got the dam wall, which is we use about pegs 2 to 14. Then you've got from pegs 63 to 80. I was the last one. Then you've got from pegs 82 to 92. So you've got 3 distinct zones. So if you're pegs 63 to 92 are one continuous line of anglers. So basically on 80 you bang in the middle. So if the fish come from either end, which I think they tend to do, they just never get to you because you bang in the middle. And if you come out from out in the lake, I don't think they get to you neither, because like Steve, the way the bank is, the anglers either left and right are kind of chucking in front of you, like the feeders are landing really close to you. But I'll talk a bit more about that as the match goes in. But anyway, I'm there thinking, well, of course I've got a chance as anyone. And I was thinking it might be like, it was fishing really hard, it was cold. I thought it might be like a 2 fish day, 3 fish day. And I thought, well, you can catch 2 or 3 fish from anywhere. Famous last words. But I was thinking, like, when it's hard, you can catch like a couple of fish from most pegs. But anyway, I thought, I'm going to set out at 68 metres to start with. I'm just going to have 1 chuck at 68 metres. And if I don't get a bite, I'm going to go out long. So anyway, I've set up at 68 metres. And like I said, the way the bank is there, I'm sat right back. And then Steve's to my left, Stuart's to my right. And they're sort of facing me on a diagonal, if that makes sense. So I'm bang down the middle of this thing, and they're like looking down like that. So I'm thinking, we're all chucked out and we're all pretty close. Our feeders are landing pretty close. I'm like, oh, this is just not the one. Like, if you're in the middle like that, you don't tend to want to be with anglers who can chuck long. And both of those are great casters. So I was a bit like, fearing the worst really straight away as soon as I seen them feeders going, because I'm thinking it's only when you go long it's even worse. So anyway, we all started at a similar range. I think Steve might have started at like 72 metres maybe. I started at 68, Stuart started at 68, and all of us were just sat there, no bites. But we all thought it might be one of them rock hard days, like I keep saying. And peg 69, Nigel Franklin was on that, got one early doors, first chuck. There we go. 15 minutes in, peg 69 and peg 66 have both got fish on. Really good pegs of late. And in the last match, them pegs chucked up a few fish. But at least there's some fish being caught. Positive signs at least. There we go. And then Ian Mavard to his left caught one as well on peg 63. Now that's been a good little hot area, but it was encouraging. We're like, here we go. The only thing that was worrying was the fact that my pegs to my right, them real good pegs, or what have been really good pegs, 86, 88, 90, weren't catching, and it was like, oh, this could be tricky. And the match, just, that was it. I never had any indications. We never had any indications, we never had any signs. Just dire, none of us, all three of us. And after about 2 hours, I thought, the only way I'm going to catch fish here today is by going, because I know that how Stuart fishes is very calm and composed and eases his way out to the longer distance and likes to leave that quiet water out at 90 plus metres to exploit in the last hour and a half. But I kind of felt like on this occasion, I needed to be out there before those guys, because if you think about it, them two are like chucking like that, and I'm bang in the middle because of the way the bank is. So they're chucking. Stuart's feed is kind of naturally going that way. Steve's is naturally going that way, and I'm chucking down the middle. So I'm thinking the only way I'm going to get my own water is to go longer before those guys. So I've decided quite early I wanted to leave that long, you know, pre-match plans and everything. I wanted to leave that long line as long as possible, but I thought the only way I want to get a bite here today is by getting out there before Steve and Stuart. So I've made the decision really quickly after an hour and a half to go long and just sit out long, thinking it's the only way I'm going to get an edge today, because otherwise they're going to cut me off, and I can't. I've got to give myself a chance. So I'm at 90 metres after an hour and a half, and I'm thinking it's my best chance. And then neither of us are catching anything. Like, there's a few fish getting caught now in our section. There's a few anglers on free fish, which means it's very difficult for me. And like, Steve's not had a bite, I've not had a bite. It's very difficult. If you're still looking for 2 or 3 fish by the end, you still feel like you're in with a chance. Like the week before when I caught 2 in the last 2 chucks, you still feel like you're in with a shout. But when someone's got 3 after a couple of hours, you know they're going to get like 5 or 6 fish. It's a big ass, that is. Especially when you can't even get 1 bite. Anyway, and that's just how the match has gone. I've like struggled. I've eventually got a bite out of the blue. I've had a little rattle on the tip, and then it's dropped back. I thought, here we go. Wound down to it, struck, and there was roach, and I wound the roach back for about 5 metres, and it fell off. Fucking roach. Yeah. Which is just, we call them like soul destroyers. Like, I just call it a heartbreaker, because every bite there is normally a carp, but when it drops back and you've got a roach on, especially on a day like that, you're just not the one. Anyway, Stuart ended up catching one actually. There you go. Stuart's got one. Been a slow old morning. Fish up to my left, but nothing for me, nothing for Steve Ringer, and nothing for Stuart until now. He has. Big fish.
That's a rat, isn't it? Bigger than your fucking rat.
Very, very hard so far. We are. Hey? Need free for a prize. So we are a couple of hours in, and Fig 69 has got playing his third fish. Fig 66 has got one, and then it goes. Pete Caton's got one, and Keith's got one. Steve Ringer's got none. I've got none. Stuart's just had one though. Stuart Polster, form angler, and then there's not another fish caught then right up until the fence on peg 90. Right, Daz Sanders has got one, and then nothing again. So very, very tough over here at the minute. But you never know in this place. Can all happen very, very late. But yeah, we're at 96 metres now, which is a nice chuck with the wind off your back like this. Bread on the hook. Not a deal happening though. Out from up there. So that 69 is out a little bit on a little point, and then 66, the angler after him, that's the end peg. So looks great on a hard day. Plenty of water to dry fish from. He got just a little diddy one. I don't think he weighed it, but it would have been a 6 pounder, 7 pounder, small fish for Boddington standards. Steve never had a bite. I never had a bite. But on the whole, the venue fished really well. Like,
Hey?
take our pegs out of it. Just to put it into context, Steve drew that peg twice, 77. He's done it 2 weeks running now. And these are 6-hour matches, and he's not had a bite in 2 matches, so 12 hours without a bite. Just to put it in perspective about that little area where we were. So, just one of them days again. I say, if Stuart can only get one, it's a little one,
Hey?
and not win money off that peg to my right, I didn't get one, Steve didn't get one, they're just not there. I mean, but anyway. Keith, 2 fish. It's just not looking good. They're all getting bites now, aren't they? And we're not. Frustrating, to say the least. Hey ho, we're not out of it yet. Peg 75, Keith Saunders, well done Keith, he won the match, which is actually the peg next to Steve, but like I keep saying, that there's something about that peg 75. We've been back through the results, and it just throws up all the time on a Tuesday for whatever reason. Don't know what it is, whether there's something on the bottom, whether it's just a bit more space, whether the fish just naturally sit there, maybe there could be anything out there, but there's something that holds fish on that peg, and Keith Saunders made no mistake, fish really nice and tidy, up to about 75 metres, just took his time, caught his fish, brilliant, great performance. And Neil Russell on the dam wall, another great angler, does brilliant at Boddington, does it brilliant everywhere. But he was on peg 12 next to my old mate Rob Wootton, and he had £50 as well, which fantastic. I mean, I was thinking about this. People actually ask me about why I keep going to Boddington, and I think it's the not knowing that is the best thing about the venue. By that I mean, Steve Ringer's blanked, I've blanked. Do you know what I mean? Like good anglers are blanking, but then other weeks we're going and we're competing, and I think that mystery, you don't expect to get a bite. It's not like going and catching F1s where you're working out how to turn 20 fish into 30 fish or 10 fish into 12 fish. You're literally thinking, I might not even get a bite today. So when it goes round, it's like the best. But that obviously comes with the drama of a high possibility of blanking as well, and you're fishing a massive reservoir for big carp. Someone's just gonna have a bad day, and unfortunately for me, my turn this week. But on the whole, the venue fish great. I mean, quite a few anglers had 2, 3 fish, 5 fish. You know, good fishing really when you consider how cold it's been just lately. The fact that anybody gets a bite amazes me every time at Boddington, and I think there's something about it. I can't put my finger on it. It's a challenge. It's it's a conundrum is what it is, because last week I came away kicking myself thinking I should have been out long, I should have been fishing long all day. This week I fished out long trying to get in front of Steve and Stuart, and the fish weren't out long this week, but I don't think they were short in that area neither, because Steve has actually fished short for a lot of the day, not had a bite. Stuart's obviously been a bit fished a bit longer like me. Steve's gone long, obviously, like he would do, because he's a monster caster. He's gone out long as well, but no nothing. And whereas last week you come away thinking I need to fish long haul. Last match. You come away, go home, and you think I need to fish long for 5 hours. And then this week it felt like you were just not casting to any fish. So just a total mind, just blows your mind. But anyway, that's another match. As I record this, the venue's frozen, so I don't know if next match will be on. It's just one of them venues, it just sucks you in, and I hope it is on, because even though it's going to be crap because the ice is melting in the lake, I still want to be there, and one day it's going to go my way. But last week wasn't it. But the only saving grace was that I wasn't alone in having a tough day, and a much better angler than I'll ever be suffered the same fate. And it just shows you what kind of a place this is, because who is better at that venue than Steve Ringer? And even he can't get a bite at the moment if he's not on the fish. So yeah, humble pie again. I don't know, is it humble pie? I don't really know. Oh, just a quick one. Thanks to everyone who's subscribed and liked, and also we've just done a podcast on the Nufish channel, and it has gone down an absolute storm, way better than I could have imagined. I said to Mick, if we can get 5,000 views on it, I'd be really chuffed, because it's something different for us. It's not a fishing video, and it's last time I looked before I did this, it had 16,000 views, which is amazing. I'm so chuffed with that. So if you haven't checked that out, check it out on the Nufish channel, and give that a subscribe as well. We're doing some really good stuff on that channel at the moment, and that's just a start. You know, big things are coming from that channel. So cheers everyone. Cheers to Man United as well, for a change.